Jim, you share it.
You could probably just cover it.
No, I have it here. All right. We had a discussion about exit surveys for teachers, and Tony has shared that with us, and that's a discussion that's ongoing. We talked about Kinnelon summer enrichment programs. We talked about Start Strong, individual student reports. Curriculum writing was the bulk of what we talked about. Citizen Advisory Committee, they met on the 6th, the 13th, and 20th, and that's going to continue on also. Phys Ed curriculum, we reviewed the opt-out options that were there. And Kinnelon High School open house. We talked about having an open house to highlight programs, clubs, academics, and also sports. And that was it.
Did you guys talk about doing that this fall?
Yeah, that was in contact with Dave Doty and doing what he's doing for this. I guess they have the club programs with the tailgate that he had started last year, which is a great idea. We had talked about focusing more on basically having an open house for parents to come and visit the clubs, extracurricular activities, and other things basically involved within the school. More so for 8th graders coming into the high school, for them to see what's available, and basically the teachers to promote their classes and promote their clubs as well.
Excellent, thanks, Steve. Policy?
Yeah, absolutely.
The policy committee met last Monday by Zoom, and I shared the minutes with the board over the weekend. We approved the policies on second reading already, but we did discuss a couple other policies that we need to do a little more research on in terms of have there been any updates just in general, but also specific to our context, especially policy 2240, which is controversial issues, and just how they're presented and discussed in class and in other situations in the district. And related to that is also the policy 5250, which is the excusal from class or programs. Again, just seeing if there's updates that are available, and then bringing them into our context to say, hey, maybe we want to update that, include a little more or less, and a section to provide parents with the opportunity to opt out of programs or assemblies or other speakers if that occasion may arise. So that's in discussion. Nothing else to report. There are also 2 pieces of legislation that will end up with us, the threat assessment team and also the HIV reporting forms. I don't think we've gotten any standard language yet, but I would imagine soon.
Okay, thanks. Finance and budget, we also met Wednesday last week? No, Tuesday or Wednesday. There's really nothing exciting to report, just on track with our budget, and we went over all of the things we approved at the meeting tonight. And then securities and facilities.
Yeah, I just want to give a quick update on the Field of Dreams, our stands that are out there now. Phase 2 is hopefully beginning to start at the end of football season. The bleachers are out to bid right now. They are available. In an ideal situation, as soon as football season is over, the stands will be removed. The foundations will be put in place for the new stands to go up. And depending on the weather, they will go up as soon as possible and hopefully be in place for the spring track and lacrosse seasons. So, and again, that's an ideal situation. So, we'll see.
It's gonna work. Throwing that energy out there. Okay, negotiations. Nothing. Yeah, you're done. All right, I'm gonna stop even asking. You did a lot of work. Good work. Delegates, New Jersey School Boards Association. We have the big conference coming up at the end of October. I actually took training. There's going to be changes to Title IX, so they did proposed changes. So there was some training that was offered. So I actually attended that yesterday. But there's always such great stuff on that they send out. So Morris County School Boards Association, saw that email.
Yeah, they have a meeting next Wednesday night. It's hybrid, so you can call or attend on Zoom and register.
We'll have to talk about what time we meet then, because it's I think 6 to 7 is the buffet, and then 7 is when it starts, right? It's a good topic.
So if you register, I'll just send it to you.
Okay, great, I'll register, thanks for that difference. Okay, where are we? Legislative Representative, Megan's not here. Anything, Mike, from Morris County?
No, not yet.
Community Relations Committee? Kelly?
So this month, because September was just so busy for all of the schools, we're not meeting in person, but I did get updates from everybody. And then we are set to meet the first week of October. Again, I heard back from all of the principals, and they just wanted to really give a shout out to the janitorial staff. They did a phenomenal job this summer. The schools were beautiful, the schools were safe, the kids came back, and everything was just set up really nice for them. The teaching and support staff got the classrooms ready. It was really nice this year to have a lot less COVID gear and a lot more just teaching manipulatives and more bulletin boards and all those wonderful things that you expect to see in a classroom that we just haven't seen for a while. So the teaching and support staff did a great job. We had a very successful launch to the school year. All the kids are happy, all the staff is happy. We're getting ready for back to school nights. Keel and Stony Brook already happened, and next week we'll have Royal and high school. I got reports from the whole school associations. So there are 2 fundraisers at the high school. On November 2nd, there's going to be a designer handbag bingo and turkey tray. If you can come, we would love to have you. It's going to be here at the high school. They get some really amazing bags, and there's only 2 fundraisers at the high school, so if you can come, that would be great. There's also a calendar raffle that's going on right now. It's $10 tickets. If you could do it, that would be great, because the raffles pay for amazing things like project graduation, teacher appreciation, and for the first time this year, homecoming dance. Yay! It's going to be phenomenal. That's going to be on October 22nd. The high school has always done a phenomenal job of doing something called Spirit Week, where the freshmen, the sophomores, the juniors, and the seniors kind of compete against each other in all these really cool competitions all week. But it's culminated into a football game with a homecoming award, but never an actual dance. So that's going to be really exciting this year. PRM's got their membership drive for the Home School Association, and they're trying to get a really big turnout this year. If you're able to sign up for the membership, you can sign up for the team canteen and Treps. And just a huge thank you to Keisha, because all of us that have kids at Keel School, Stony Brook School, we didn't have to buy any supplies, and it was pretty fantastic. And my kids all have everything that they need this year in the classroom. All of our kids have everything they need in the classroom. So that was just a fantastic thing that Keisha did. Thank you so much. And we're really just looking forward to getting together at the beginning of next month and talking about everything that's going on in the schools. Thank you.
Teacher liaison, you guys are meeting in October, right?
Yes.
Okay, Camelot? Tom?
Kinnelon has a meeting next Tuesday. It's going to be before back to school night, so we'll be able to attend that.
KF? Nothing yet, okay. All right, unfinished business. Does anybody have any unfinished business? No? New business? Okay. Correspondence? Do we have any correspondence? No? Okay. We're on to petitions and hearings of citizens for non-agenda items. If anybody has anything they'd like to say that wasn't on the agenda or something you forgot that you didn't get a chance, you can come on up now.
It's really more of a general comment about what just happened with this vote and the board discussion or their lack of. I know we talk a lot about transparency. We put together a citizens advisory committee to be transparent, but did it occur that you're causing the exact problem you're trying to solve? If the board is going to have a discussion, if members of the board are going to put something up, they owe it to the community to discuss why it is that they're not voting for something. Communication's a two-way street. You want to get input from the community, we deserve input from you. And we deserve to hear why you choose not to vote, why you choose to postpone a vote, why you choose to table a vote. I can appreciate that you work on this stuff in the background before the meetings happen, I know that happens. But we as the community deserve to hear that. So when the community says we want more transparency, that's exactly what they're talking about. So I would ask that you consider that and be prepared on the 28th to speak about why you vote a certain way, why you chose to vote that way. We just tabled something, we have no path forward to the 28th. Nobody's spoken about what we're gonna do to get things together for the 28th. What's gonna happen, why people didn't vote on this. I just failed to see what's gonna be different on the 28th. And unfortunately, the board had a chance to give that input and just let that opportunity slide. So I would hope that in the future, when you have the chance to speak, you could do so. It's not Dave Mango's job to do that. It's your job. Thank you.
Very good.
Okay, well, I'm just going to go ahead and address that, just to answer your question, though. When we table something and when we vote, we really don't have to tell you why. We vote for the reasons that we vote, and if you don't like it, then don't re-elect us. So that's how we represent you. But I will tell you that everybody decided to table it for their own individual reasons, and to
I
me.
looked at that, I would just like to, be a part of
And-
that
and-
and listen.
and you
It's not
can-
that I'm saying
Okay.
you did it for the wrong reason, I'm not accusing anybody of doing something
No,
wrong.
I never said you were.
I just, the communication's gotta be two-way with the community.
Okay. Are there any other comments from the community?
All right, good evening, everyone. Lou Wiggle, 12 Glenrock Drive. First of all, I just want to thank the committee for the time they put in. So I am frustrated. I appreciate people talking about how much time this took, but the fact of the matter is, it's been 2 years. No excuses whether we had a new superintendent, interim superintendent. It's been 2 years. And now I have to hear that my child's legal right to comprehensive physical health is on hold. It was by September, we wiggled to September 30th. It's frustrating to me. 15 years ago, when I was a brand new teacher, 3 days before school started, we had a child commit suicide going into his freshman year. When I developed the character education program for our school, that mother came up to our principal and said, I wish I had these curriculum. Maybe my kid would still be alive. My son shared with you, when he entered Kinnelon here in 7th grade, he was bullied, chased down the hallway, called homophobic slurs. Yet, when I look at the 6th through 8 curriculum, the standard develop a plan to promote dignity and respect, all gender identities, gender expressions, sexual orientations in the school community is only found in the 8th grade standard, in the 8th grade lesson. How does that help a 6th grader who isn't straight, who doesn't call himself biologically boy or girl, or a 7th grader? We're teaching it in 8th grade, and then I have parents who I respect their different opinions than mine say, let's shove it in the back end of a school year. I teach to the end of the hour and the minute of my last day of school. That was insulting to hear. In Stony Brook, a few years ago, we had a horrific incident that still gives me nightmares on a bus. Yet, in 7th grade, we talk about adult caregivers and teaching kids where they can go and who they can trust when something happens, being sexually harassed, sexually abused. But it's not in 6th. My girls are on that bus every day. They know where they can go. But when kids get overwhelmed by an adult, they need to be reminded every year. My child has a legal right to this, and I expect it to be done day one. I'm already 3 weeks into school, and I'm still waiting. The other lawsuit that you put up there is me. So get it done. I will not have the health and safety of my child, the legal right that they have to an education, be compromised. Other parents have an option. They disagree, they can opt out. If you don't approve this on September 28th, I have no option. My child doesn't get what they need. I'm also not happy that, Mr. Domingo, I like the idea of talking about it. But my concern is, if we wait till the spring, my son has health right now. So what happens to him? He gets nothing. What happens to the kid who has health? The second month repeat.